What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you what to do in those situations when you go for the phone number and the girl instead suggested you add her on Instagram or Snapchat. I'm going to explain why this might be happening to you and what you can do about it. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is differentiate between cold approach / real life situations and online dating, because those two are going to be quite different. Let's start with the former. So let's say you're talking up a cute girl you met at the mall, things are going well, and you say, let me grab your number. And then she goes, oh, why don't you add me on Instagram? Okay, why did that happen? It's likely going to be one of these two things. The first one is that she's simply not interested. Maybe she has a husband or boyfriend. And she plans on staying monogamous. Or maybe you're just not her type. Maybe your game wasn't as good as you thought it was. Could be any number of things. But she's simply not interested, and she's taken the socially polite way of rejecting you. And a lot of chicks also do this for safety reasons because she has no idea if you're crazy, right? Like, there's some guys who, when they get rejected, they go nuts, they make a scene, or they might even physically harm her, right? So this is a much safer way for a girl to reject a guy. The second possibility is that she has some kind of unanswered concern or objection. Maybe she just thinks that you want to have a one-night stand. Maybe she thinks you're, for some weird reason, from out of town. Could really be any number of things, right? So maybe she just kind of wants to test you a little bit. That's also a possibility. She wants to see how you're going to handle it. And typically when that's the case, the girl will have almost a little smirk on her face. That does happen, especially I would say this one will happen more likely from night game. And it's important to be able to discern between these two, right? So how can you figure that out? Well, when you're talking to the girl, is her body language open? Is she smiling? Does she have the Bambi eyes and she's staring up at you? Or does she have one foot out the door, super closed up body language, just kind of trying to get out of the conversation? And if you really can't accurately, discern between whether the girl's interested or not, I think it's good to have one of your buddies film you. And then once you study infield of yourself, you're really going to learn quite a few things about your game. But so the first thing I would say when it comes to this is, don't just randomly go for the phone number. Don't be like you're talking about like, yeah, my dog. Anyway, let me grab your phone number. You want to soft close first. Give her a reason for the number. So typically what I'll do is I'll be like, listen, we should grab a drink sometime soon. Wait. Let her say yes. I want her to be like, yeah, sure, that would be a lot of fun. Cool. What's your phone number? Give her the phone. Simple, dominant, direct. I don't play weird games. I also make sure it's clear. I'm getting her number to hang out. I'm not getting her phone number just to collect it. I'm not getting her phone number to be text pals. I'm getting her phone number because her and I are going to meet up at a later point. And that's also important to do. In addition, it helps you get the phone number. It's also going to make the number more solid. Now, let's say that I do all that and she still says, oh, why don't you just add me on Instagram? So at this point, it is good to be a little persistent, but you want to be persistent without being needy and without, getting butthurt. It's the same thing when you kiss a girl and she moves away. If you get reactive, then it's done. However, if you're cool about it, you can quite often get the make out later. Not as common with the phone number, but I've had multiple situations that I turned around just by handling it the right way. So a girl says, oh, why don't you just add me on Instagram? So I'm going to misinterpret her purpose. I'm going to say something like, oh, wow, you want to see who has more followers? Or, oh, you want to get one extra follower, right? So smile on my face, I'm playfully misinterpreting her intention. So at this point, she'll typically be like, haha, no, we just met, so you never know. This is how I get to know people when I first meet them. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. It's one of the two things, or it's a form of a shit test, but not usually. So at this point, I'm going to reframe everything. I'm going to show some empathy. I'm going to be like, yeah, I know. We just met. Honestly, I was just walking around trying to carry on my day, but there you were looking all cute. I couldn't resist saying hi real quick. It would be cool. I got to go right now. Even if she's the one that has to go, I'm going to make it seem like I'm the one that ending the conversation. But it would be fun to grab a drink and get to know each other. Nothing serious. At the very worst, we're going to have a good time and laugh, right? And honestly, I only use Instagram for people that I don't give a shit about or for business purposes. And you don't seem like you fall into either one of those categories. At the very worst, if I send you too many dick pics, you can block me. Haha. So anyway, but if you're not interested, it's okay. At the very end, I'll usually leave with some kind of a takeaway, like saying, listen, I'm okay with walking away from all this. So here I just gave her a bunch of logical reassurance. I also gave her emotional reassurance through humor, and then I ended things off with a takeaway. And you don't have to say this same exact thing, but that is the general principle. And that's a very powerful combination. And quite often a girl will be like, you know what? Okay, yeah, let's try it. And she'll give you her phone number. You basically logically tell her, listen, like, you can block me at any time, so it's really not that big deal to give your phone number out anyway, right? The only thing is that those situations where you had to kind of push for the number a little bit more, on average, might be a little bit more flaky, right? Because you kind of had to finagle her into it. The most solid numbers are going to be the ones where the girl asks for your phone number, where she's like super on board and super compliant. So again, this is all just, you got different levels. But I've also had situations I used to play around with actually giving girls my phone number at a point just to see how effective it was. I've had situations where I would give a girl my number and then she would text me like the next day and be like, hey, it was cool meeting you. When do you want to grab that drink? So anything can happen. This is all just about optimizing your odds. Next, let's jump into online. So with online dating, there are generally 3 reasons why a girl will insist Snapchat or Instagram. The first one is, and this is the most common, she's a time waster. She's not interested in meeting up with anyone. She either wants more social media followers, validation, or she's bored, or some variation of those 3. But she's not interested in meeting up no matter how good your game is. So this is going to be the first category. The second category is that she's actually interested in meeting up, but she wants to make sure you're not a catfish, make sure you're not a serial killer. And funny thing is when girls see that you have an Instagram, they just assume you're not a serial killer, like especially if you have some pictures of you doing social shit. So that could be the second reason, and that does happen all the time, especially with all the crime shows. People are worried. And then I would say the third category, the third reason why a girl might want social media is simply because that's like more like socially accepted. Like that's what she's used to, especially if it's a younger girl. So her default is to do social media, right? Like especially 18, 19-year-old girls, they talk on Snapchat more than they talk over text. And if she's in the first category, no amount of text game is going to be able to accomplish shit. So if she's in the first category, it's important to recognize that and move on. However, if she's in the second and third category, then the responses I'm about to give you guys are going to be very effective, and at least the majority of the time. And how do you tell if she's okay, if she's actually interested in meeting up but has some objection, or maybe she's not used to, fucking texting or calling, or she's a time waster? Well, a big thing to look at is her level of investment. When you're messaging her earlier, was she giving you 1-word or 1-sentence responses? Or was she writing a lot? Was she engaged in the conversation? Was she asking you questions about yourself, right? At this point, for me, I almost have a spidey sense. I can tell if the girl, is serious or not. You can also see by her profile. Does she have like 1 picture with her Instagram? Or does she have a bunch of pictures and like a pretty decent bio? So there's really quite a few things you can draw from in terms of figuring it out. But another way you're going to tell is when you hit her with the lines I'm about to give you guys. If she still insists on sticking to social media, then at that point, if it's an online lead, you know it's going to be a time waster, and your best bet is to move on. So let's start off with Instagram. So this one is pretty interesting. This was one of Nin's lines. So he was talking to this girl, and she says, don't get me wrong, I'm really not exchanging numbers. I want to make sure you, normal person, once I give person phone number, he started right away, send me naked pictures. Oh no. So he responds, well, if I do, just go ahead and block me. So this is kind of the same thing I was talking about in the cold approach segment. You give her the logical answer, but you're also going to spice it up with humor. I don't have IG, not sure how else we can move this forward, lol, but really up to you. I'm not going to push anymore. A takeaway showing her that you're okay with walking away. Very powerful. A bit weird that one bad experience made you not want to give your phone number to every other guy. Again, also reframing and making her question her logic, especially to the man of your dreams. Ending it off with some humor as well. So this is a really good balance. She says, haha, okay, let's try. And she gives him the phone number. And next is going to be one of mine. So this is the Snapchat objection. I never fucking bother with Snapchat. Giant waste of time. So when a girl says, add me on Snap. So we already made plans to hang out. I say, cool, drinks, my place, nice. That sounds like a plan. And I say, phone number. She says, sorry, add me on Snap. And when she's saying sorry, she's not talking about sorry for not giving a number, sorry for taking a while to respond, because she took like an hour and a half and we had plans at 9. Says, add me on Snap. And I'm not going to do that. It's going to be largely a waste of time. So I say, no Snap here. If I send a dick pic, it lasts more than 5 seconds. I find this line works quite well. And she says, haha, gives me her whole phone number. You can see this has a very happy ending. Hey, it's Alex from the thing. Hey, is it time for drinks yet? If not, then I just got dressed for no reason. Address, give her my address. Google says 26 minutes. Cool, perfect. ETA, just parked. That was fun. Simple, straightforward. And the last big thing I want to mention on this topic is that quite often it's not actually the girl that's pushing for the Instagram or the Snapchat. It's the guy. And unless you're part of the 0.001% of guys who actually has a dope Instagram, maybe you're verified, you have 100,000 followers, you have, hundreds of posts that are high value, which again is going to be a tiny, tiny fraction of people watching this video. If you're not in that category and you're asking girls for their Snapchat or Instagram, you're doing it simply because it's the path of least resistance. You're less likely to get rejected asking for a girl's social media because it's more socially accepted and it's a less of an ask. So you're having a nice conversation with a girl at the mall and you're like, yeah, I don't want to ruin this going well. Add me on Instagram. Bam. Got the ad. You feel like you got to win. In reality, no. Unfortunately, that was the vast majority of the time bad game because if you're adding her on social media, and she's an attractive girl, you're going to be competing against hundreds and hundreds of guys who are hitting her up on Snapchat, hitting her up on Instagram. Versus over text, it might be only dozens of guys. So you have much better odds. And also, going for the phone number shows a lot more balls. I remember one time I was at a club and there was this really fucking smoking hot girl by herself and she had this really kind of standoffish look. So no one approached her. She had this resting bitch face, but she also had huge titties. So I knew I had to approach her. And we start chatting for a few minutes and she's like, yeah, I got to go meet my friends. I was like, listen, I want to grab a drink with you. Give me your number. And she stares at me. She's like, you want my phone number? You don't want my Instagram or Snapchat? I'm like, psh, I don't fuck with that shit. She's like, wow, I'm going to give you my number. She's like, really? Because every other guy fucking wants my Instagram, wants my Snapchat. No guy has the balls to ask for my phone number. So here you go. And then we actually wound up meeting up. Unfortunately, we did not hook up. But that's a story for a different time. So, the premise works. You want to go for the phone number. Now, once you get the number and you're texting her, you can go ask for her Instagram. I do this all the time. For example, let's say I'm talking to a girl on Tinder and I suspect that she might not be that attractive for whatever reason. Maybe she changed one of her pics. So then I will ask for her Instagram to verify. Well, let's say I meet a girl from Cold Approach. It was a few weeks ago, and I'm starting to forget what she looks like. I might ask for her Instagram. But it's something I'm going to do later. I'm not doing it as almost, playing it safe. I'm just going to ask for her Instagram and then whittle my way into her text. It's going the other way. I'm going to have some balls. I'm going to go for the phone number. And then if I want to, I will ask for her Instagram. But not Snapchat because that is a total fucking waste of time. Hopefully you guys found this video valuable, and if you're enjoying this content, please do me a favor and smash the subscribe button. Help us get to 50,000 subs, and I will actually release infield of myself doing Cold Approach, something I've never done before, but I will do if you guys can help me get to 50K subs. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.